Hi, Gloria Lightbecker here with Healing You. The last few days, I've been noticing something about myself, and I'm curious whether you've ever noticed this about yourself. Do you ever find yourself comparing yourself to others and discovering that you're the one lacking? This has been something that I've noticed that I've tended to do off and on all of my life. I think it's actually pretty common in our human experience. And yet, there's specific places where I would compare myself that are unique to me. And where I would compare myself most often is when I'm speaking my truth. And then, so actually I'm not fully speaking my truth in that moment when I get falling into that trap of comparison, because in that moment I'm actually stepping outside of myself into my shadow self. And I can know that this is happening for me because of the predominant feelings as I begin to really pay attention and notice my experience. So as I'm watching another person that I really admire and I'm interested in, and they're talking about trauma, they're talking about attachment theory, they're talking about our shadow self, they're talking about all these things that in my life have brought me to where I'm at right now. And yet there's that subtle quality of my shadow self, those shadow ears that are hearing. And I know this again because I'm feeling worried. I'm noticing my body feels tense. I feel an uneasiness, a discomfort. I also feel really self-conscious and hesitant to speak up or to engage. And there's this subtle sense of feeling tired. So as I really got more clear on these feelings and the sensations in my body, the shortness of my breath, tension in my tummy and my shoulders, just even naming those things, I feel myself breathe a little deeper right now, and my belly relaxes a bit. But I took the time to go into my heart space and to ask my heart to just allow me to recognize where this pattern began for me, Gloria. As I breathe in and out of my heart space, just focusing on the sensations and the feelings, those emotions. It was like a whisper of a memory that's really not super clear, and that's okay, of when I think I was 6, and my family was moving from Nebraska out to the great Northwest. I remember it was a grand adventure. The whole family and the family dog all piled into the car with all of our stuff, all the way to the great Northwest. When we arrived, we ended up, well, actually, I think before we left, I was in school, so we had to leave from school, and then we went on this great adventure across the states, and we got into a new school. And then we weren't there very long, and then my family moved again to a different home, and so I went to yet another school. So, 3 times, and I'm only 6, and it was hard to track all that. As I sat with my sensations and I allowed the whisper of the memory to come up, I could remember with more clarity what it was like to be little Gloria. When I'd go into this new classroom, I was feeling insecure. I wasn't sure where I would even fit in. And I would be just watching everyone, trying to find my place. And I didn't have words. I didn't know how to engage. I didn't know these people, and they all seemed to know each other. They all seemed really confident. But for little Gloria, I didn't even have words like that. I just was watching from outside of myself. And I felt rather lost and alone. And so I had the sense that I wasn't enough, that I was inadequate. I was actually the sense of innate worth. I didn't have it. I didn't feel safe or secure, and I certainly didn't feel self-connected. So I was recognizing that there is an area here that's ready for healing at a different quantum level than I'd experienced before. So rather than believing the shadow self that believed I don't fit in, I am on the outside, I don't belong, I am incapable, and there's something wrong with me. Rather than continuing to believe those shadow beliefs, I could actually take the time to be really heart-centered and invite my compassionate self, my present-day me, to time travel back into that yesteryear with warmth and with grace and with kindness and compassion, to see little me. And what I could see inside was my mom had given me this little pixie cut. I had big brown eyes that were just kind of wide, watching everyone all the time. And I had my favorite shirt on. It was a green shirt. It was a soft green. And I just looked kind of wary. So as I time traveled to this little part of me, I could see the potential in my younger self that was just needing to be acknowledged or accompanied for her to see herself through my eyes. I love little kids. I love my little self. So I gently go in and I see her and I start to make some empathy guesses for her. And I just ask her, I said, hey, little Gloria, are you feeling a little bit worried? How to fit into this new environment with these new people? Would you like me to come with you? I can take your hand, if that's all right. And I make sure I get consent for this little one to feel okay about me showing up in her world. She actually breathes a little deeper and relaxes ever so slightly. And as I accompany her then into this new room, I can see her new teacher. And because I'm time traveling, and because I know that it's possible, I can see her teacher has her compassionate self standing right beside her too. And as I introduce little Gloria to her new teacher, there's a common bond. There's a warmth and a sense of caring and safety that just begins to permeate throughout the whole room. And as we turn then to also see the other children, they have compassionate selves with them as well, to help them actually see one another, to recognize one another at a soul level from our hearts. That makes the connection easy because it is secure and safe and warm and resonant because it's love-based. So seeing this and then asking little Gloria, what does she see that she would like, that she likes? She sees the swing sets and she is drawn to them. So we go out to swing on this new playground of life. And as we're swinging, we're soaring back and forth. At one point, as we're really, just soaking up the potential of this new way of being, it's on the backward swing, we lift up and we just are able to fly up higher. And so we're soaring and we're free to be who we were created to be. And that was just a really beautiful experience. Wow, recognizing my own innate worth and my value, that I can share my truth openly, transparently in this life. I'm empowered to do this when I share from my heart. Can't get that wrong. So my new I am statement is I am welcomed and I belong and I am enough as I am. When I stand in that quantum field of energy, I am empowered to be the potential that I was created to be. So staying with that and taking it just a little bit deeper to really anchor this quantum field energy at a cellular level, I take that time travel and I sweep it slowly across my life up to present day. And I recognize in each new experience new opportunities to engage, to stay curious with wonder. As I recognize new opportunities for learning something new, someone has a new point of view, or maybe they have a new way of explaining something that's familiar to me. And in that moment, I catch a little glimpse of something new that I didn't know before, and I feel delight in receiving that. And the more people that I meet, and I can recognize where we have shared journeys and shared experiences, I can also recognize that there's unique differences in the way we share, in the way we express from our heart, in the way that we're passionate about whatever we're passionate about. And there's enough room for everyone to share and to belong and to inspire one another. So I feel really inspired to recognize that the more people I meet that are passionate about similar things that I am, that we're growing a whole new movement in the world with our passion and our purpose and our clarity and our vision by speaking our truth from our heart. So then I'm empowered to do it my way, whatever that may look like for me. And I have a big sigh of gratitude. So pausing to go back in time to this morning when I decided I was going to take the time to really sit with this comparison thing that I'd been doing. I recognized something that made the connection that in present day, I was also feeling a sense of innate worthiness. I was also feeling a lack of safety and security, and also the experience of self-love and connection wasn't really there. So that shadow part of me had carried through my life to this morning until I was willing to slow down and really be in the moment. So what are those quantum energies that would support me to stay present, open-hearted and curious, rather than being diminished by a shadow perception? Well, that would be standing in the quantum field of being spirit-led and self-connected at a soul level. So then from that space, I did a little redo. And this time, I will read what I wrote. I said, as I listen to a teacher sharing her truth, I feel a resonance with her, recognizing our similar life experiences, and I appreciate her point of view and her unique style. I am inspired and freed up to teach with my own style, with much more confidence and engagement going forward. So there's another level of freedom by doing this, sharing this here with you. Because to actually anchor that experience, I like to make an authentic action. That's me stepping into this energy of this new me, which empowers me more fully. And so what I did is I took a hot bath, then I took time to journal, and then make this video to really unpack what it's like when we compare ourselves to others. The importance to slow down. So what can it look like for you when you're comparing yourself? Can you begin to notice it from the inside? Can you start to hear the whispers of your shadow self? And maybe you take the time in your day for some self-care, to become really heart-centered and self-connected, to find the link for yourself to free yourself up, to share your truth in this world, because your voice really does matter too. Thanks for being on this journey with me, healing you.